So it's just a few updates in my life.
How did your interview go?
Oh.
Yeah, I got the job, so that was all fine.
Congratulations.
Thanks. So slightly terrifyingly, I will have responsibilities. So it's nice, but it's also terrifying because I barely feel like I'm an adult. Yeah.
I know what you mean there.
At least you have some bareleys to it.
Because of the barely necessities, the simple barely necessities.
I do have some. I have a biscuit, I think, as well.
Oh, let us munch down on that.
Well, I'm being kept on at my job for another 6 months as supervisor.
Hooray! It's the job week.
It is a job week, yeah. They're keeping on for basically. I didn't realize I was covering maternity. They didn't tell me, and so the person is coming back, and they basically want my job. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. And he didn't tell me that, and so I spoke to my regional manager today, and she was saying, we want to keep you on, but it'll be at a different store. So luckily it'll be at stores that are a lot closer to where I am, which sounds really good.
That's good.
Nice.
So yeah, and she's going to try and make it as fixed as possible to contract, so I can get another job on top of it, because it's not going to be enough hours. So I'm going to look for more supervisor jobs.
Hey,
Cool.
Yay.
Yeah.
you can do the thing.
Responsibility.
Responsibility. Ho!
Almost back at my job properly now.
Yay!
Yay! Job week.
Slowly doing more shifts and the like.
That's awesome.
And I've just started the school holiday, so no job responsibility for 2 weeks.
Hooray! That's the biggest cheer of them all.
Job week.
Job week. Hello, welcome back to Inaudible, the podcast that's impossible to listen to. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker
Star
happened.
Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Episode X.
The Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker. Ozzy, you need to say it as well.
Skywalker,
So-
the rise of Star Wars.
So, before we get into our overall thoughts,
Yes.
what were your gut reaction after seeing?
I didn't think it was a very good film, honestly. But I enjoyed it still as a Star Wars film because I'm a big Star Wars fan. It was definitely better than The Last Jedi.
It's got
God,
Sword
yeah.
and Shield syndrome then. It's better than the last ones. It's not perfect, but I still enjoyed it because I enjoy the franchise.
Basically, I'm laying all the problems that I had with this film at the door of The Last Jedi because I feel like they desperately tried to, like, all the major plot points came out of literally nowhere, and it was just like they were trying to retcon.
It didn't come out of nowhere.
Well, they had a-
Palpatine was announced that he was coming back in the fucking Fortnite crossover event.
I have
If
no
they
idea what you're
hadn't
talking
fucked up
about.
The Last Jedi,
But
so they didn't have to retcon so much.
While this Star Wars thing has been going on, before the film came out, there was a crossover. There was a Star Wars crossover event in Fortnite.
Wait, hang on. Was this before or after the Last Jedi came out?
This is after the Last Jedi.
Yeah, so
This
that's
was,
fine.
like, recently,
You
like,
can't
this
say
year.
there's a fucking Fortnite crossover that has a major plot point in the film, and that makes it all right.
No. I'm not saying it's alright. I'm saying it's
Palpatine is in the
fucking terrible.
trailer as well. That doesn't mean that it's like, oh my god, I wasn't expecting Palpatine to be in this. That's terrible plotting because he was in the trailer.
So
no, he wasn't in the.
All that was in the trailer. Palpatine was his laugh. We didn't actually see him at all.
We did in the most recent
could-
trailer.
Oh, but the point of the Fortnite event was the message that Palpatine was back. The first bit of the text crawl.
Mm-hmm.
That was what was in the Fortnite event.
Okay.
Announcing to the galaxy that Palpatine has returned.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, fucking how?
Well,
Yeah, they never explained that. It's like
dark side of the
never
Force.
they had a
explained.
throwaway line about cloning and Sith magic.
Yeah, but that's like, literally like in like one line, and it's like, okay, how would? All right then. Or like, can I just say though, Raylo is canon.
Yeah,
and we were
yeah.
fucking right. We were fucking right the entire time. 5 years.
Yeah.
And I can also say, well, 5 years of waiting, and that's what we get.
So,
I was so pissed. So fucking angry.
all right, one
I
thing.
was like, oh my god,
one
yay,
thing at-
one thing at a time.
One thing at a time.
No.
one thing at a time. So the reveal of Palpatine being back should have been at the end of episode 8. And this is what I'm getting at the point. It seems like the guy who came into episode 8 did his own thing, and then they got rid of him, and J.J. Abrams came in and did his own thing and ignored all the other stuff. It's like a different storyline.
Wasn't J.J. Abrams? This is what I don't get. I don't get why he didn't direct the middle one, because he said like in interviews he had a vision for the trilogy, and it seems as Brian Johnson came in just kind of sort of fucked up that vision. It's like, why hand it to someone if you already know how it's going to go? Why give it to someone else? So I didn't get.
It's yeah.
I didn't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything. I know this is meant to be about episode 9, not episode 8, but honestly, episode.
So episode 8 had its flaws, but a lot of it could be excused in the fact. Well, some of it could be reasoned that it would make sense with the next film and be a payoff.
Yeah.
It'd be set up and payoff.
Yeah.
This one, no, they just dropped the fucking ball.
So what didn't you like about it then? The moaning hour here.
So the main gripe I have is this is the one that just sticks out for me for some reason. Well, the two things that really stick out for me: Rey's lineage.
Yep.
So The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi drive home the fact that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your family is. It doesn't matter where you come from. Anybody can have Force. Anybody can be powerful, right? That's like a fundamental idea of the Force, that it doesn't belong to us, doesn't belong to the Jedi, so therefore anyone can have it. So it doesn't matter who your parents are, it doesn't matter who your fucking grandparents are. But I suppose, technically, in a way, yes, your parents were nobodies. Your grandfather, however, he was a fucking somebody.
Yeah.
I also don't get how. Let me just. Is it like in Game of Thrones where Palpatine's just been to a whorehouse in Coruscant? I don't get.
I thought that as well. I was like, who the fuck would have sex with that?
Oh,
Like,
mind
but
you,
then again,
have you read the Plagueis book? Palpatine was a bit of he was shit hot back in the day.
But it's also the thing that
I mean, he
it's
was
entirely
popular.
possible that while he was a senator, he had to keep up the appearance.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But also, I think it was Palpatine and Plagueis actually impregnated Shmi with Anakin.
That's it's never explicitly stated, but it's kind of like.
So technically,
Yeah.
Kylo and Rey are second cousins once removed.
Oh, this is just like Game of Thrones.
Oh, don't do that. Don't you dare ruin this for me.
It's not confirmed though.
Better not be confirmed. I have been shipping this from the very beginning.
I mean, Star Wars isn't stranger to incest.
Yeah, all right. Shut up.
But so that whole thing with Palpatine being back in the Rey's lineage, just that it really annoyed me that like the whole point of The Last Jedi was that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who your parents are. It doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is what you do while you're here. That's the important thing. But now they've just thrown that out of the way. So, actually, you're the granddaughter of the most powerful Force user in existence. So, it turns out it does matter where you come from.
But then you could very slimly argue that both of them came from kind of sort of dark siders in a sense, and they both also, turn to the light. You know what I mean? Like,
but that was
kind of defined their lineage in a sense.
That was one of the things I really liked about Episode 8 was the idea that you had Kylo Ren as a dark side person desperately trying not to turn to the light side, and Rey as a light side person desperately trying not to turn to
I like that.
But
Can we? Are we moving on to the next?
So the other thing that annoyed me, it was more of a visual thing than like a story thing.
Is it the X-wing?
What was your problem with the X-wing?
Oh, when Rey's flying Luke's X-wing, I can't remember where she's flying it to, but there's a shot from behind of the S-foils opening, and it's the new style of X-wing.
No.
Yeah, and I was sat there like, oh, did Luke get another one then before he flew away? But then they show it from the front. They show it from the front, and it is the old style. I'm like, oh, hang on a minute.
Oh, did they really drop the ball like that?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to see. I have to see it again.
But
the thing that
Just for that one shot.
I did like how they called it Red 5 though.
Yes. Did you also notice Wedge Antilles?
Yes! Oh, I cheered at Wedge Antilles.
He shouted out.
I was enjoying a lot of the fan service, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, excuse me. So at the end, when Rey has completely baffled Palpatine by bringing out 2 lightsabers, because this is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
That's definitely going in some parody somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just like, and also there's a parody to Endgame there of I am all the Sith, I am all the Jedi, I am Iron Man. But when when Rey's hearing all these Force ghosts, hearing like Anakin and
that was
Obi-Wan
excellent
and
fan
Mace
service as well.
Windu,
Yeah.
Ahsoka from Clone Wars, and fucking Kanan Jarrus from Rebels.
Oh, I didn't know them.
I heard Freddie Prinze Jr. I know that voice when I fucking hear it. Why
Prinze
couldn't
Jr.?
they actually be there?
Yes.
Why weren't they actually ghosts?
I wanted to see them all as well. That was one thing I was looking out
Like
for in
Lord
this
of the
film.
Rings.
Yeah.
Like I said to Alex, I was imagining it being sort of like the ghosts from Lord of the Rings.
Like Return
like
of
Return
the
of the
King.
King.
When they're like
Ghost
all in a
Dog.
war and they're like running towards it, and then you see all the ghosts appear behind him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
how
bit.
cool would
Okay,
that-
yeah.
how cool would
That was
have been?
amazing.
I thought you meant when like Boromir came back as a Force ghost or something.
Oh, no, talk about Lord of the
Except
Rings.
without his head
Somehow.
really crossing over
Talk about
continuity.
Lord of the Rings.
But yeah, I would have liked to have seen like have Palpatine mention another Sith.
Yeah.
Because who are the Sith that we know of, movie-wise? You got Sidious, Plagueis, Maul, Dooku, and Vader.
Yep.
Who else is there?
That's a Maul.
Mention Revan, you fucking coward. Or how about Darth Bane? You know, he's canon.
Yes.
So's Revan, actually.
Yeah, that's the one.
What?
Yeah, Darth Bane. Even I know him.
Darth Bane.
You were born in the dark side. I was born in the light. You didn't see. I didn't see the dark side until I was merely a man. But also, Ben should have been at the end. As it
Yes.
goes with Luke and
Yeah.
Leia.
Yeah.
That really
yeah,
pissed
yeah.
me off.
I felt like a really weird oversight.
Also,
Yeah, I was expecting the ghosts there as well at the very end.
yeah. Also, I
If
was
Anakin could come back after redeeming himself, then why the hell didn't Ben?
also expecting to see Hayden Christensen a little bit there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been so nice.
I really wanted that.
Like I said, when Rey was like getting support of all these, because it was kind of difficult to hear who was who. If you
Yeah,
saw
yeah, no.
Mace Windu,
Yeah.
if you saw Anakin, if you saw Obi-Wan, then that would have been so cool.
Yeah.
Because it would have been just like, yes, this is tying everything together. Because at the
Apparently,
moment, it didn't really tie in the prequels at all. I mean, okay, you got Sidious. Sorry, you got Emperor Palpatine. You didn't get Darth Sidious. You got Emperor Palpatine, but not Darth Sidious. And like, what else was there connecting it to the prequels?
well, apparently, it had to they filmed 8 different endings with test audiences. Apparently, they filmed 8 different endings.
They didn't have a test audience. They didn't have test screening.
Then why? Okay, that's the story that's been going around. Then I don't know what's going on there.
They
Or
could-
maybe
No, they
just-
deliberately didn't do test screenings because they didn't want spoilers to leak out.
Huh.
That could also be why they do multiple endings, is because they don't want the actors
in
to
case
say
it
anything
does,
or
yeah.
the crew.
Maybe.
Or maybe they don't know how they want it to end yet. And they're going to figure it out
True.
in the edit.
True. I read somewhere they filmed 6 to 8 different endings.
68 different endings.
6 to 8 different fucking hell. It's not the butterfly effect.
But what was it? 6, 2, or 8?
I think it was about 8. Right, now can we please talk
So is
about
that 7 or 9?
7 of
talk
9.
about,
All right, let's talk about your thing, Raylo.
Yeah.
Very low.
Talk about a kiss. All right. They gave us one moment of happiness. They've been building up to this for 5 years. And then, no offense, oh my God, she didn't have, much of a reaction. Literally, in The Force Awakens when Finn gets, pretty much, nearly killed by him. And she's, proper crying over his body and, oh my God, no. Literally, she's there for, 2 seconds. And then the next second, she's in a scene and she's cheering. Way, everyone. Sorry,
She's over
the
it now.
fuck? That pissed me off so much. There was so much of a build-up, and that was the payoff. Everyone else is yeah, okay, cool. We don't ship it, but cool. You do you.
I do understand why they pissed you off so much because just
It's a way to fuck over his character development, though. Also, a new comic came out, showing that he actually didn't kill the students at the temple, at Luke's temple. He actually tried to help them. And so, like,
So he set the temple on fire and then tried to help them.
I don't think he set the temple on fire either.
He literally said he did in Last Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In the comic, I don't know. I looked at the comic. Yeah, and it just pissed me off. Like, what was the point? Because again, J.J. Abrams said that these two were the balance.
I'm sorry, it's J.J. Abrams.
Whatever, you know what
Not
I mean?
Abrahams.
You know what I mean? I can't pronounce his name. He said in multiple interviews that they were the balance. Both of them being together were balance. So the most depressing ending he could have given to her was she's pretty much back to where she started. She's alone on a desert planet with no one.
She got BB-8.
Yeah, but yeah, she's got a droid. But yeah, the whole point of her character was to find where she belongs, to find her belonging. You know, in The Force Awakens, the belonging you seek is not behind you; it's ahead. And she found it with him, and then suddenly, no, it's got taken away, and you're back to where you started. Like, what was the point?
It's like she has fulfilled her destiny. She knows her past. She knows who she is, and she doesn't care. She's taken a new name. So the Skywalker and Solar bloodlines are now extinct.
I don't know how I feel about her just taking that name.
Also, why the hell did she bury the lightsabers on Tatooine? Nobody has any good memories of Tatooine. The only good thing to come out of Tatooine was a fucking pod race, and even that's hotly contested.
What's your the ending? In general.
This is the question.
Um,
Alex already knows my opinion.
I already know Rich's opinion.
what specifically about the ending?
The fact that it was trying to wrap up 40 years worth of films. And
yeah.
Do you think it was satisfying?
No.
Yeah. I think a lot of people think that as well.
So when I came out of The Force Awakens, because that was Star Wars coming back and this whole new universe had opened up again, I came out of that thinking, I want to see this again right now.
Yeah.
You know, there's people crying and everything. Last Jedi, I was like, okay, not sure about that, but whatever. Then I saw it again and thought, well, that was fucking shit. This one, I was just like, yeah, it was fine, but I've seen it now and that's it.
Yeah.
Also, more to the point, like, so sorry, Alex, go on.
I'm just saying it wasn't a very, sorry. It's like this year for TV and for film, Game of Thrones was disappointing, and now this, and it's like, stop trying to subvert our expectations. You're doing shit.
Yeah.
It's not working. Sorry, carry on.
Like,
we all expect it to be good, and it's shit, so they are subverting our expectations. It is working.
No, we expected it to be competent, and it was insulting.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
This is Game of Thrones, yeah.
Oh, I meant Star Wars.
I meant both.
So, another major problem I have with this is the whole point of resetting the canon and getting rid of everything from the old expanded universe to have the new universe was to streamline and make everything a lot more coherent, and so everything can stick together, make it a lot more sense, right? And do away with all the old stupid crazy stuff. Palpatine coming back through the use of clones and trying to take over using the powers of the Sith is literally the plot of the Dark Empire comic book, which I have on my shelf.
Yeah,
it's literally the exact same thing. Yep. So what was the point in getting rid of it if you're just going to remake it but do it worse?
Because this time Disney owns it all.
Because money. Also,
it's like,
sorry,
it really, really annoys me how little care they gave this trilogy.
Oh yeah,
like, it started out with so much potential and so much possibility. Like, they had this entire new universe to galaxy and universe to explore. They had the time from Revenge of the Sith from Return of the Jedi up until X. You know, you could have done anything. You could have had Luke, Han, and Leia fucking shit up after the fall of the Empire. But no, let's turn Luke into a crazy old recluse, falling into the ways of Ben Kenobi, only much worse, and fucking over the entire Jedi Order. Leia creates a worse rebellion, and Han Solo runs away and does what he does best, and then ends up dying by his son. It's just like,
Yeah.
Why are you going to do it again if you're not going to do it as well again?
If you're not going to respect these characters.
It's the same problem I have with Disney live-action remakes. It's got no reason to be remade. Why are you just repeating the same things over and over again, but making it worse?
Yeah, it feels like... Excuse me. Sorry. It feels like they care a lot more about the... There's a real echo here all of a sudden. Can you hear that? Anyway, it feels like they care more about the stuff that isn't the main series of films now. Because, like you said, they just kind of pump it out with... And like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of care going into it. Things don't make sense.
Yeah, it's almost like they care more about the comic books. Because if these things are important to like, it's like the majority of The Last Jedi could have been a text scroll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That fucks me off a lot. That it was a direct sequel. There should have been a time skip, as is tradition.
Because, okay, me and Alex did the triple bill. So we watched episode 7, episode 8, and then episode 9. And watching them all back to back, they are so disjointed from each other.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
Goes back to what we were saying at the start.
Even 7 and 8, even though they're a direct sequel, they are so different.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I like The Last Jedi. It's not brilliant, but it's not as bad as Attack of the Clones. So, because there are quite a few good bits in Last Jedi. Everything with Luke is fucking brilliant.
Yeah. And
understanding more about the Force. I really like what they did with the lessons. I don't like what they did with Luke. I like what they did with the lesson and the understanding and the power of the Force. And the mythology behind it. I like what they did with that. Holdo fucking shit up. Brilliant. Like the hyperspace maneuver through the ship.
And I noticed they had a line in this one about, we can't do that again. That was 1 in a million. But we give no explanation as to why.
And then right at the end, the ship, the Star Destroyer that was over Endor with the Ewoks literally had a Holdo maneuver for it.
Yeah. I noticed that.
Yeah, and what was I saying about? And we also had the fight between Kylo and Luke at the end. That was amazing.
That was pretty cool.
That was so good.
The whole point from when Luke comes back at the end is brilliant. It's just the dusting of the shoulder. It's just like, oh fuck. See, that's the Luke I know. That's the Luke from the expanded from the Legend.
That's the Luke we wanted to see.
Yeah.
Can we also
and a lot of people say it with like that bit, which is like, oh, but yeah, he's just a projection. So yeah, Kylo still didn't land a fucking hit on him at all throughout the entire fight.
Can we also say that with Ben Solo when he got that lightsaber through Rey, the whole cockiness of how he's definitely Han Solo's son. Also, like, come at me, bro.
Also,
that was great.
The last words we hear from him in the franchise are "Dad."
Oh my god!
Because he didn't say anything from that point onwards to the film. Also, it was nice to see Harrison Ford come back for one final bit.
That was a very surprising cameo. I like that.
And like, oh my god, people misunderstand that so much. They think he came back as a Force ghost.
No. What? Yeah, actually, how did he come back?
Ben was just remembering him.
That was it, memory.
Yeah.
Oh, Carrie Fisher.
People just... I sometimes feel like people haven't watched the film they're talking about. Because they had that in The Force Awakens as well, where they go out of their way to show someone getting thrown 5 foot backwards by Chewie's bowcaster. And then Kylo gets hit by it, tanks it, and then stands there beating himself and blood coming out. And everyone's going, oh, how can the other guy stand up to him on a lightsaber? Because he's fucking injured, you weirdo. Watch the film.
Yeah. And what about, I love the fact that in that, in the fight where he's like whacking his side, he's trying to channel the dark side of the Force. Because it's like pain and anger, but it's the wrong kind of pain and anger. He doesn't understand it at that point.
No.
Just.
Someone did put as well, when he was Kylo Ren, the whole sort of like the clothes like that he was wearing was very sort of tight and like, you know, sort of fitting. And you know, so when he sort of sheds that and goes sort of being Ben Solo, his like sort of clothes that he wears are very kind of sort of loose, and so like he's kind of finally free in that sense. I was like, that's so sweet. Sorry, I just love him so much.
Changing tracks, horses on a Star Destroyer.
Oh my god, yes.
Hell yeah.
Can we just talk about those fucking Star Destroyers for a minute?
Well, Arthur was back, was he?
What?
The horse from the spaceship, Doctor Who.
Oh god. Wow, that you gotta lead with those references, dude. But those Star Destroyers,
Yes.
allegedly one for every planet in the galaxy.
Did they say that specifically?
It was either one for every system or one for every planet.
Right.
But every single Star Destroyer had the capability to destroy a planet.
Yes.
Okay. How?
With the big gun. Did you not see it on the bottom?
I did, but
Big gun go boom.
why did Palpatine announce his intentions before he got his fleet out?
Yeah.
That's what every villain does, isn't it? They're like, oh, I'm going to do this.
Yeah,
and
but
then-
Palpatine isn't every villain. Palpatine
No, I know.
has contingency plans that make Batman think twice.
But they,
He-
the
he
Hollywood
is written by
make him every
Disney.
villain.
You've also got to remember, Palpatine is trying to play Kylo and Rey, and in fact the Resistance. He's trying to pull the strings on all of them. He's trying to make them do what he wants. So he wants them to come and fight him, so that he gets Rey comes to him, Kylo comes to him, the Resistance comes to him, and he can wipe them out.
He didn't scream unlimited power.
I know. I wanted Rey to say, "You can't beat me. I have unlimited power," or something like that.
Although he did say, "Do it."
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah.
Yes, he did.
Also, can we talk about Hux's sudden change?
General Hugs.
General
General
Hugs.
Yeah, because in the start of Last Jedi, they call he like Poe says, "I'm waiting for General Hugs." G.
Yeah, that was
Like-
quite surprising at first. But I was like, actually, no, like, then I went to Dr. Rich and he was like, oh,
Yeah,
actually, that
you
doesn't-
literally said to me, "He's like, why did he turn?" I was just like, "Did you watch the last two movies?"
See how he was treated? I was like, good point.
Yeah, like I'm just pissed he didn't go with them. That would have been a nice little payoff for his
That
character.
that would have been nice. Yeah, I don't get why he didn't go with him because.
Do you
But then
realise-
again, I suppose it was like he didn't want the Resistance to win.
Yeah.
He just wanted Kylo to lose.
True, yeah.
He was just trying to bring down Kylo so that he could step into the limelight, kind of thing. On the subject of the big fleet and what have you, when the Star Destroyer with the big gun on the bottom did shoot the planet with the big gun, the effects of the planet blowing up were amazing.
Yeah, can we talk about some things we
Because-
did enjoy?
Yeah, because when a planet killer laser shoots a planet, it shouldn't just blow up and go poof in one big go. Which what we saw in this one was the crust starts to crumple and the planet just kind of breaks.
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing. That's the bit I
Yeah.
want to see again.
That was brilliant.
That does not make you sound like a serial killer. I want to see the planet blow up again.
Not blow up. That was the point.
It's not the people he likes seeing die, it's the planet itself.
Yeah.
Damn
Then you're
you, Father
living on the
Earth.
right planet, then Christian.
yeah.
But probably not the right time zone. We got a bit longer before our planet. We're you know one. Never mind.
No, I don't. Does anyone?
Like we're slowly fucking up the planet, so it's gonna be past our lifetimes
Oh.
before we get to
Oh,
see
yeah.
it.
All right, time
crumble
period.
apart. Time. That's why.
Yeah.
What did I say? Time zone.
Time zone.
Time zone.
It's like, oh, just you wait. Australia are well in advance.
Yeah. Australia, and then it's going to come down here.
Well, we already
next.
know Australia's a shithole.
You know.
So I liked with the final battle,
Yes.
all the different ships that turned up. There were B-wings, there were Y-wings, there was the fucking Ghost was in it, a Corellian Corvette. I swear I saw a Fang
Yeah.
fighter from the Protectorate. So many ships. That was fucking awesome.
I do
Like
love
the
a B-wing and a
Gondor
Y-wing.
Parade. Yeah. Although I did see that as soon as they warped the hyperspace into Exegol, literally the first ship that got destroyed was a fucking B-wing.
Yeah. Obviously, inexperienced pilots. That's all it is.
Oh yeah.
I do wonder whether the Resistance maybe should have asked Lando to try and recruit for them earlier.
I think it was more the fact that everybody was terrified of the Empire, and this was the point
Yeah.
of, look, we know where he is, we have a plan, we are going to win. And then
Yeah.
that was Lando going, look, we can do this. We are going to do this. Help us do this. The more of you that help, the more chance we have, the better the chance.
I suppose at this
more
stage,
hope.
at this point as well, everyone already knows that the First Order is a massive threat. and they've heard
stupid.
the broadcast from Palpatine, so maybe they're more willing to believe that the threat is real at this stage. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And like, what was the point of the First Order? Why it wasn't just the Imperial Remnant?
Yeah, 100% agree.
It didn't add anything.
And there was nothing. This is what I'm saying about it. Feels like all the plot points out of this film just came out of nowhere because there was nothing building up to Palpatine just going, "Oh yeah, I created Snoke." Like,
Yeah.
I think Snoke should have been the overall villain. It should have been Snoke instead of Palpatine, or at least Palpatine's soul that had gone into Snoke's body.
Oh, that would have been good.
I just,
sort of like what happened in Dark Empire, where he went into a clone body, because it was kind of established. It was kind of implied that is the same Palpatine that fell down the reactor shaft. It wasn't a clone; it was the same one.
Then and it never explained how he like just survived.
That was the dark side of the Force.
it's a pathway to many abilities. Some
considered to be unnatural.
Fucking hell.
Also, can we talk about where? Again, I don't know. I'm not into like the sort of the expanded universe, but Force healing that did seem to kind of come out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's like
Rey
Charmed.
suddenly had it. It was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Plagueis and Sidious had experimented a lot with using midichlorians to heal the dead, create life, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So it is it is like a possible thing, but they did it after years and years of study.
Yeah, it seemed to come out of nowhere for her, and it was sort of, oh, you can suddenly do that now. Okay, then.
So people who have been able to use Force healing are Barriss Offee, who was a Jedi in the Jedi Order, Shakti, Anakin, Luke, Mara Jade, Cade Skywalker.
So this is an established thing then already?
It was in Legends, yes.
Okay.
But they never established it in the films, that's the thing. So like...
Oh, so the only people in...
Why, I felt like it came out of nowhere.
So the only people who can in canon are Rey, Ben, and the child.
Yeah.
Sorry, a child?
Spoilers.
Oh yeah, have you heard that theory?
Baby Yoda,
Baby Yoda.
Have you heard of that theory?
What theory?
Of a baby. You know when...
Well, there's actually a shark.
No. You know when Ben was healing her and he was holding his hand on her stomach? There's a whole theory going around that basically...
He was actually Baby Yoda. Kylo Ren is Baby Yoda, confirmed.
It all makes sense now.
There's a whole theory going around it, maybe like... I don't believe it's true, but the theory says that, yeah, maybe it could be like a baby. I was like, all right.
Maybe that's how it works on that planet.
Yes, I thought I just like hold someone's belly. You are pregnant now.
Also, I didn't see it as Force healing. I saw it as just transferring life energy, like what Palpatine was doing.
He gave up one of his regenerations.
Just that scene, it's so tragic. Also, their acting
in multiple ways.
Their acting was absolutely gorgeous in that scene, and his smile, like he was finally. He was loved for like a moment, and then I was just, I'll never get over it. I will never get over that. Just my boy.
Oh, and people were pissed that he turned after just hearing his mother for one word. His mother saying his name. And I'm just like, he probably hasn't spoken or seen Leia since he turned.
It's fucking Carrie Fisher.
He probably hadn't seen his mother since he left for the Jedi Academy.
Oh my god, yeah.
You probably haven't even heard her since then.
Shit.
And she willingly made contact with him. She reached out to him.
I didn't...
And I'd like to think that in the novelization or something like that, that there is a longer conversation. I was expecting like a longer conversation between them.
Longer conversation.
Yeah. Or just something like of them talking to each other and her forgiving him.
Oh my god.
Because in my brain, that would make more sense as to why he turned. Or why he gave in.
Give in.
That would be amazing. Like, I can't wait till the novelization comes out. It's going to be so much more.
I can't wait for somebody to animate that final bit with all the Jedi. That is going to happen.
You should ask Amy too.
Oh yes. Yeah, exactly. You can fucking do it in Doctor Who. You can't do it in Star Wars. Are you seriously telling me that the old Jedi did not want to come back? Are you seriously telling me that Hayden Christensen gave his voice to new lines? They all gave their voice to new lines. Why would they not just appear for one little green screen bit?
It's so stupid.
Or hell, just CG them. CG them. You know,
CG.
the Uncanny Valley Tarkin them.
You
them.
don't have to pay to fly them out for voice dubbing. You can probably just get some high-end equipment in whatever place they're in, record it, and send it over.
It just feels like such a wasted opportunity to round out 40 years of story to not have everyone there.
Yeah.
Smash can do it. Avengers can do it. Star Wars can't. Come on, everyone is here.
Yep.
I just
Anyway, one.
So we're talking about things we like.
Yeah.
Avengers, I'll agree with you on. Smash is a game series where they just have to make models, not actually,
Yeah. So
not actually pay to get actors in and stuff like that.
got to pay for licenses.
That 90% of it is Nintendo. They had to maybe pay for like 10 licenses from different things.
I know. I was just going by the fact that everyone is here.
Also,
We were talking about things we liked.
Should we go as medal?
Oh my god, yeah.
Yes.
And I also asked as well, what confused me a little bit was the connection between Ben and Leia. So I didn't. You had to explain to me because I still get a bit confused by it when, you know, when he died and he faded
What
away.
are
And
you
Leia.
not understanding?
So was she connected? Was she connected to him that entire time? And then when
She called out using the Force in her
But
final
why did
moments.
she disappear straight away? The galaxy
yeah,
Oh,
she only disappeared.
Artistic licensing, I guess.
she couldn't move on until her son was redeemed.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, yeah, you're probably right.
Aw.
Fuck.
Okay, that does. Yeah, okay, that explains it.
So
I'm taking that.
there were a few bits that made me well up.
Mhm.
Chewie's first fake out death,
Oh my god, yeah.
because I didn't because I like forgot for a brief second that he was still in the trailer later on. But when he found out that Leia had died,
Oh yeah, no,
that ripped me apart.
that got me too. Yeah.
Oh, that was so sad. I'm welling up just thinking about it now. Poor Chewie. Oh. I did like Luke coming back as the Force Ghost though. That was
Yes, I like that.
not quite Yoda coming back in episode 8, but you know. Still. Some people wanted that to be Anakin. It was just like
I think he should have made an appearance.
He,
as a ghost.
he definitely should have made an appearance to Kylo Ren to say to him, "What the
Yeah.
fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, come on, boy.
Chill out, dude, yeah?
Because at first, when
I
you
see
hear
you're campaigning for asshole of the year.
And
And then Kylo just snaps back as the previous record holder. Got any advice?
Because at first, when you hear like, "Oh, hey kid," I honestly thought, like, "Oh shit, they brought like Hayden Christensen back," and then it was I was like, "Oh, okay, oh that's still good." But I was
I
like,
like
"Oh,
that.
I love that." Oh, that whole whole scene was just beautiful.
Yeah, it was good how they basically followed the same actions as when he stabbed Han Solo.
Yeah,
Of taking out the lightsaber, holding it, saying, "I know what I need to do," and yeah.
it's like
Which is what I imagine he wanted to do the first time.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that whole in Force Awakens, that whole sort of the lighting, the half and half on his face of the light and then the red, and then you see the red bit and then it just goes dark and it's like shit.
When the sun gets absorbed into the Starkiller base.
Oh, I freaking love that. Gorgeous cinematography there.
I will say, despite agreeing with what you said about the films making the point of it doesn't matter where you come from, and then it turns out she's just a Palpatine. That was one of my favorite theories, so I was quite thrilled to see that it was the right one.
Same.
The bit where
I don't have a problem with it happening.
yeah.
I just have a problem with the way that it was built up.
Yeah. I will say the bit when the lightning came out of her hands, though, my eyes lit up.
That was a huge
Yeah, at that
giveaway.
point I was just like, lightning, oh shit, she's a Palpatine.
Like, oh, I wonder who she is. Oh, she got. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was quite a big giveaway at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, because before it was very kind of subtle. Like, there were videos of the theories of it, sort of saying how her fighting style was just like Palpatine's. And so that was sort of, it wasn't really sort of, people weren't sure. But then as soon as you see that, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's confirmed, basically.
Yeah. Was there anything else?
Finn and Poe were fun.
Oh, I'll tell you what, C-3PO is fucking turned into the comic.
Ooh. Why did they not make a big deal about him losing his memory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said, oh, you have to wipe your memory. Okay, fucking do it. Wait, what?
It seemed a bit...
They did make a deal of it.
Yeah.
They didn't make a
brushed
deal.
it off, though.
They didn't make
Big
a
enough
deal.
of a deal.
No, they didn't make. They made a deal before they did it. They didn't make a deal afterwards. Even
It seemed a
when
bit...
the R2 tries, so before they wiped his memory, I was thinking, could they not just make a backup now?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
And then when he did get his backup from R2, and he's like several years behind, or wherever, I didn't catch where it was. They still didn't say anything about it. I guess people just don't care about droids.
Like, oh, hey, 3PO's back.
Like house
Never
elves.
underestimate a droid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed a bit...
Also,
that's
Dio
what
was
rich about.
was cute but pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something Rich about earlier about how the whole sort of first act seemed a little bit pointless.
Well, that was catching up on everything that should have been in episode 8.
Like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah,
I
how
didn't think
great
of
would it have
that,
been
yeah.
to see Kylo running around fucking shit up? Also, I thought the Wayfinder was a holocron, and I got super excited.
Yeah,
but very
same.
disappointed.
Same.
I was like, how cool would it have been if it had actually been a fucking holocron?
Alas.
And then it would have been like, oh, okay, it's a Wayfinder, but it's also got the secrets of the Sith.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that Disney was too afraid to do big fan service. I mean, like, they did like little things like bringing back Wedge and bringing back these ships and doing this, that, here and there, but they're not willing to do the big stuff.
But
Like,
they've
they're
never
not willing to fucking holocrons or Jedi from the TV shows or like bringing back stuff from the prequels because nobody liked the prequels.
They've never quite got it right. So with The Force Awakens, they basically just repeated the same plot from A New Hope. Then in The Last Jedi, they tried to do something different, but they just did it shit, and no one liked it.
Yeah,
And they just went,
much.
well,
This-
I guess we won't do that again. And then in this one,
and
they
in this they went back to fucking Return of the Jedi.
but they didn't do it as well as The Force Awakens.
No, they didn't.
Yeah. It's,
I mean, like, where is the saga at now? Okay, First Order's been defeated. The Empire is defeated. The Emperor is dead. The Emperor is dead. You got a Skywalker on a desert planet. You got a Skywalker on a desert planet. Like,
Yay.
and Chewie's there. Like,
It feels like, honestly, to me, it feels like they're not coming back to this bit for a long time, to this
If ever.
time period. I can't see it anyway, because I think they probably had enough of the films by now, with all the trouble that's been going on.
the thing is, like,
That's what I'm saying. They're making TV shows now, and they're doing standalone films. They're just they're going to try and fit in bits and bobs about random other characters. Oh, that
they're going
reminds
to do
me.
what Star Wars did best: world building.
Yeah, what's his face? Who was behind a lot of the
Dave Filoni.
Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff has taken over as the new main guy. So maybe they'll.
Wait, what?
Someone did anyway.
Who are you talking about?
Someone.
Well, somebody who did a lot of the behind the scenes stuff for
Was it Jon Favreau?
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau.
I can't
Oh yeah,
remember.
because he's doing Mandalorian.
Ah.
And he is assisted by Dave Filoni, who is the mastermind behind Clone Wars, Rebels,
Yeah.
Resistance,
That's right. So basically,
and the first book of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So,
sources in Lucasfilm stroke Disney are basically saying that one of those guys, can't remember who it was, is now basically their main go-to guy for Star Wars. So it
I
seems
think it's going to be Dave Filoni.
it seems to me like they're focusing less on these like big trilogies of blockbusters following the same story as they are now just focusing on things from the universe, which
Yeah,
is fine.
I mean, like, when
They're
you
doing
compare,
basically
Sorry.
what everyone does nowadays.
Yeah.
Marvel verse, DC verse, Arrowverse.
I mean, the difference with Star Wars is they already have the verse. They
Yeah.
don't need to
That's
try and
Firefly.
manufacture one.
the verse is Firefly, but
Focus on it now.
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, Dave Filoni knows Star Wars. He loves Star Wars. So when he makes stuff for Star Wars, he makes sure that it's good and it fits.
Yeah.
Like Rebels, oh my god, Rebels is one of the greatest TV shows I've seen, like ever. Like the finale was actually fucking good. It wrapped things up, and I wasn't disappointed with where the characters ended up. Game of Thrones. Because I was half expecting like some reference to it in Rise of Skywalker. I mean, okay, you had the VCX 100, wasn't necessarily the ghost, but I refuse to believe that it wasn't. Why couldn't they just have a little tie-in to the prequels or to the TV shows? Why couldn't they have something? This is what I'm on about. Disney is too afraid to do stuff that people aren't aware of.
They've got to strike a fine line there because 90% of people watching the film won't have any idea who these people are. So they can't be too integral.
But what was wrong with just having, like, a shot of Hera and the Ghost going, Captain Syndulla standing by with, like, a load of just, like, other people? It would have, like, given us more emotion to the people who were fighting in the battle and would have been a nice reference to people who knew who it was. And if they didn't know who it was, then they would have looked up afterwards, found Rebels, bought the DVDs, bought the merchandise, and carried on like that. You know, it's not detrimental to teach your audience about things that have already happened. By teaching them about things that have happened before,
because
letting them go back and understand it.
When I saw Avengers Infinity War, having not seen most of the standalone Avengers films, it just pissed me off that they expected me to know who all these people were. When you watch one film, you're watching that one film.
Difference is, Infinity War had those characters as integral parts of it. Having a one-off, one-shot cameo of a different character. Like, if you hadn't seen the prequel, if you hadn't seen the original trilogy, like some people hadn't, who the fuck was that in the gun turret of the Falcon? They didn't know who Wedge was. They don't care who Wedge was. Why couldn't they do that for Wedge, but you can't do that for other characters? You know, like, it just doesn't feel connected to the rest of Star Wars, this trilogy.
Yeah.
The prequels had so much of the original trilogy, but this has got so little of everything else.
Hopefully that'll start to change with the new people.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
Could it be seen as like a standalone trilogy, maybe? Or
yeah, like almost. What's the point of this trilogy? What did we get out of it?
They got money.
They got lots of money. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But it's just like looking at this trilogy as a whole, because they had the chance to make an incredible story here. They planned a trilogy from the beginning. They could have done so much, and they squandered it.
And now we're sat here just wishing they'd done the Imperial Remnant and done a cliffhanger for the Yuuzhan Vong or whatever.
Why not adapt the Thrawn trilogy? Why not do the Yuuzhan Vong War?
Thrawn's great. Yeah.
Have you seen him in Rebels?
I've seen clips.
I haven't seen
Rebels.
It's so much better. Honestly, my raw recommendation for this is, well, my recommendation after watching Rise of Skywalker, catch up on Legend and watch Rebels. Like, Rebels is brilliant mid-cool stuff because it's really good and it's Star Wars. But honestly, if you want Luke Skywalker messing shit up and the like better stories set after Return of the Jedi, check out Legends. There is so much good stuff in the expanded universe, the old expanded universe of Star Wars, that it's a shame that it's not canon anymore because there was a lot of good in there. There was more crap, but there was a lot of good. You know, like all the deep lore stuff is just sort of okay.
I would recommend the Plagueis book. That was really good.
Yes. Plagueis, Heir to the Empire, Dark Forces. I know I keep going on about it, but the Dark Forces series of video games, like Jedi Outcast and all that, the colon cancer stuff, they were my introduction to the Star Wars expanded universe. And I love it. Kyle Katarn will always be canon as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Because he is my favorite character. And he's a fucking badass. But yeah. I saw somebody complain that Poe Dameron now has a Han Solo backstory.
Hey?
Yeah, it's that, he was a spice runner and now he's basically Han Solo. I'm just like, what, did you think he was just in Resistance his entire life? Of course he's got a fucking backstory.
Yeah.
Like,
Anyway,
I can't wait to see what CinemaSins think of this.
Oh, that's gonna be good. Also, honest trailers.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, well,
I am very passionate about Star Wars, and that was my little rant. You're going to cut most of this, aren't you?
I've no idea what I'm going to fucking do.
I've just realised something.
Oh.
The next podcast we do is going to be probably the last podcast of 2019 and the last podcast of the decade.
Oh, shit.
Ah.
Wow.
Well,
So
actually, the decade starts in 2011 and ends in 2020 because people don't know how to count years properly.
yeah, but it'll. You know what I mean.
Shut up.
So
sorry.
It'll be the last podcast of the year, though.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll need to do games of the year.
Yes. So
God.
I actually
Games of the decade.
I actually went
Yeah.
and played 2 games because I have all these games on my list of things that I'm sure are good but I haven't played. So I've tried to
Yeah.
play a few of them recently.
And I think we need to do games of the decade as well. Games of the last
Yes.
10 years.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me just
How many can we have?
boot up the game of the year list.
Top 3.
Top 3. Okay. That's gonna be hard to choose 3.
I know, we did 5, didn't we?
Okay, 5 then.
With an overall winner.
Yeah, I think it was sort of all over the place, really.
It was, yeah.
Oh, so do you like rank them?
I think we started out ranking them and then just sort of like just
Gave up.
Yeah.
up.
Fair enough.
But we did always choose one
you've
winner
probably
each
listened
year.
to it. You've probably listened to it more frequently than we have. So,
That's true.
were you going to look at who actually was winning with the whole?
No.
You said you were boosting. You said you were
Boot it
boosting
up
up the. Yeah.
That's for his reference, not ours.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were actually going to look.
Yeah, mind your own fucking business.
Oh, Jove. Oh, gee, Rick, I'm sorry.
I did have the results somewhere, you know.
Oh, I can't remember who's winning.
What results do you want?
Wait.
I don't
Oh no,
know.
I don't think we were asking for results. I was just wondering.
Wondering what, though?
I was just wondering if we were going to rank them.
Yeah.
Your rank.
Oh!
All right, turn me into an insult, why don't you?
And on that bombshell, I think it's time to end. So thanks for listening, everyone. As always, don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube, like the podcast, leave a review if that makes any difference. Subscribe on Twitch. Go to these people on YouTube who are TS Reactions, Pheasant Films, and the other one.
Yeah, I'm mysterious. So.
Do you even
the
have a
Spider-Man
YouTube?
I do have a YouTube channel, but it's all my edited videos on there. I don't upload anything else.
Fair enough.
Bye then.
Bye.
Well, that was a wonderfully lackluster, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, are you actually meeting up?
At some
That is
point.
what was implied, yeah.
Yeah.
You're naked? Well, if I'm not
But
working
that's
it.
what we're trying to.
I thought that was implied.
I don't
that not
know.
implied?
No, us 3 are arranging something. You're not invited.
No.
I'm used to it. It's okay.